Like, can you be like anywhere else in the shot here? Come on, come on, off you go. Off, off. There you go. Okay, thank you. This is the last video I have to record tonight. Please. Okay, you have no idea how long I've been trying to get this video started because so, as I was saying, you have no idea how many attempts it's taken me to get this video started. I've been recording for several minutes, and all of that's not going to make it into the final video because Astrid is she's in a mood. Anyway, hello friends, and welcome to Figure Study, where we are appreciating the style of Sentai once more. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Solar Streak Megazord from Power Rangers Mystic Force. So yeah, this thing. I keep going back and forth with myself on how I feel about this thing, because it's weird, but it's weird in a way that I like, but at the same time, some parts of it are a little too simple for my liking, but then other parts of it are just great. So yeah, this is going to be kind of all over the place, so I apologize in advance for that. But here we have the Solar Streak Megazord in its train mode. Doesn't really seem like it fits with the Mystic Force theme. I mean, granted, there's not a ton, like, I'm not too familiar with too many of the toys from Mystic Force, but when you think of the Titan Megazord and the Wolf Megazord, what is that one called? I don't know. But if you just think of those, like, those two kind of fit a theme. This doesn't really fit in with those two themes, which, yeah, it stands out. I still overall like the thing, it does stand out. So yeah, it's a train, but it's a train that actually links up. I appreciate that. Like, you can actually see that all these pieces are connected, so that's cool. And I'm just gonna separate these to make it a little bit easier to look at them. Get these kind of out of the way here, and we'll focus on the back ends, the little extra cars for the train here. So here we have well, since these are functionally the same, I'm just gonna pop all that in and put that off to the side, and we'll just focus on this one here. So, train cars are not bad. They've got this really nice red and gold triple striping going on both sides, which do look quite nice. There's actually some pretty intricate, ornate molding in there, which is neat. And of course, you've got the gold on the sides there, some gold on the top there, and some kind of symbol that I'm sure has to do with the Solar Streak Megazord, because that does kind of look almost like either an eclipse or a solar flare or something. And this opens up, all that good stuff. I appreciate that they also painted the wheel bits like a gunmetal. Yeah, it's a slightly strange shape, this sort of semi-hourglass shape, but it's not bad. And the color scheme works, you know, that dark blue, gold, red, a little bit of gray. It all works well. And here we have, fold that in, and that was already folded in. Okay, so here we have the other type of rear car. You can see there's just like minor differences between the two. Like, these bits here obviously are different, but like the overall decoration is very similar. It's just you've got a little bit more on the bottom here. One other key difference is you've got silver here, and this is just gray, but the overall molding and shape is very similar. The only real difference being this bit on the bottom here and this bit of black here. And again, nice colors, nice overall design. And here, got these little mini train things. There's one in the other one there that these come together and can basically act as like an extra little thing that allows the engine to go into the Titan Megazord or Magiking, whichever. And for the last little bits of the train, we have the... Oh, I'm going to fold this up. I do like how these fold out and like just all connect. So this is sort of the, I guess, the coal car of the train. And it is just ugly as sin. It is full of gaps and bumps and clips and ports, and that's, I mean, it's with good reason, but it's not quite as smooth and ornate as the other pieces of the train. There's a little bit of color with the red and the blue here. I kind of wish that there was a little bit of that gold in here somewhere, but I don't know how show accurate that is. But yeah, that's that. And then finally, we have the engine, which is covered in gold details with like a little bit of red and just a tiny bit of orange for those windows. It is a more traditional steam engine style. And there you can see also the Solar Streak Megazord kind of logo there, the sun, solar flare looking thing. It's not a bad design. That is probably the most mystical looking thing about this Megazord, is just the sun motif that they've got going on in the front there. I do dig the very ornate cowcatcher though. That is pretty cool. This has lots of nice detail to it. This is pretty neat. This looks like a reasonably magical train. Yeah. And so altogether, you have the engine, the coal car, and the... Oh, move it over a little bit. There we go. And the rest of the cars. There's a... Oh, when this thing is broken down into its individual components, it takes up quite a bit of space. Just going to do the size comparison real quick. I'll just put them in front because yeah, there you can see they're reasonably sizable pieces, just individually. And yeah, with the exception of the ornate design on the engine, I'm just not, like, this doesn't really say magical and mystical to me, which is fine. You know, it's not a huge deal. It's not a make or break thing. And I do think that the color scheme is nice and some of the molding is nice, but really for me, it's the Megazord that kind of sells it. So let's get right to that. And there we have the Solar Streak Megazord in, well, Megazord mode. And I actually really like this a lot. The only thing that really disappoints me about this in terms of the Megazord mode is the fact that the legs are so simple. It's just tilt them up and clip them into the bottom. But I really like the transformation on the coal car and how it just kind of turns inside out to reveal the head and become a torso. The arm transformation is simple but effective, and it ends up making some really nice looking arms with like a little bit of flare out on the shoulders there. And the engine clipping in to become the chest and giving him kind of a portly look actually works pretty darn well too. And it keeps that really nice sun design front and center. There's really nothing new in terms of detail. Well, there's almost nothing new in terms of detail with with this mode. It's just interesting how a lot of the detail changes because of the perspective. Like the fact that what was the tops of the train cars are now the fronts of the legs. So you get this nice kind of two gold line thing there, a big strip of gold on either technically knee. And like the sides of the trains, just because they're tilted now and this is pushed up to reveal a fist, it just makes for an interesting arm design. There's a little bit of new detail that is revealed on the inside of that cowcatcher. It's kind of a double S, double snake logo. I'm not entirely sure how that pertains to anything, but it's in there. I mean, they could have just left that blank, but they molded stuff in there. And then you also, again, have that now chest design that does fold down for its like final attack, but it's not really much to look at in there. What I do really find cool about this guy is the head. It's a nice design overall, with just like, you know, the plated face, the blue eyes, the really nice kind of blue with gold trim that they've got going for the helmet. But it's also neat that it's not just like okay, the head is designed to look like a smokestack, which is cool because, you know, it's made up of trains, but it's wearing a turban, and it's not often you see that kind of a design element. I think that's pretty cool. It works in conjunction with the robot head design, so I think that works out pretty well. The gold and red for the kind of emblem on the front also looks pretty nice. I'm not really one to talk about how accurate it is in regards to looking like a turban, but that's definitely the design aesthetic they're going for. But I do think it looks good, and it does sort of lend itself to the whole like Mystic Force theme. Not that I think, you know, the turban is inherently mystic on its own, but like it's typically depicted as a form of mysticism, like you got the Arabian Nights and stuff like that. And yeah, it just kind of works. It's a theme that works, and it's just cool to see just like them doing something different than just a generic robot head design or a robot head with an animal on top of it. And like I said, the color balance is nice, the blue, gold, and silver. So yeah, I actually do really like the look of this Megazord. I like just the broader, almost tubby look that it has. It does kind of fall apart a little bit when you look at it from the side, because it's got just a lot of train sticking out. I mean, the way it all comes together, it pushes in pretty far. Like, there's a fair bit of train inside this guy's actual, like, chest cavity. If I pull this out, you can see there's, like, this much train is hiding inside his chest, so that does work. But, you know, I think proportionally, if it went in a little bit further, it would be nice, but it's probably more show accurate to have it sticking out weirdly. But I think from the front and from, like, a slight angle, it does look pretty darn cool. Size comparison time. There's Samus. There's our Titan's Return Deluxe. So yeah, when put together, he's not short. Not super tall either, but not short. It's more just wide and bulky. And of course, we got to bring in the Shogun Megazord, since he's now my sort of default go-to size comparison. And yeah, Solar Streak Megazord is not small, but definitely smaller than the than the Shogun Megazord. Or at least shorter. Significantly wider and thicker, but absolutely shorter. Yeah, I think that is going to do it for the Solar Streak Megazord. And I like this thing. This is just such a different and interesting look for a Megazord, at least for the ones I have. Like, just the more squat and thick kind of overall shape to them. The head sculpt design. It's interesting stuff. It's just an interesting, atypical design. Even though most of the Sentai stuff I have is weird, this is like a special kind of weird that I appreciate very much. Anyway, that is going to be enough of that. So thank you everybody so very much for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.